Okie doke, top of the hour here. I will now share my screen, Tony, so you can see it. Let me know when you can.
There it is.
Okay, good. So, again, the purpose of these webinars is to do some coaching with my JV clients, and Tony's the only one on today. And those of you who are watching this either live or as a rerun on my website, thank you for being here. But again, you get to sort of look over the shoulder as I talk to them about their things. So, Tony, let's get to, I've got Travel Scrooge up here. I saw a little bit of the conversation that you were having with Stanley about transitioning the website from Wix to WordPress, right?
That's correct.
And so tell me, and also, by the way, I have another JV partner sitting next to me, Jonathan, who's here, and Jonathan and I are working on the poker sites together. So, Tony, you can say hi to Jonathan.
Hey, John, how are you?
Hi, I'm doing great. Nice to hear you.
So here's the deal. And Jonathan, the nice thing is he knows a lot about web development as well. So if something comes up that he knows the answer to, Stanley may not, he may be able to serve as the person that answers this. So why don't you describe to me and to Jonathan, he'll hear what you're saying, exactly what you're trying to do.
Well, I was trying to use Wix as kind of a way for a newbie to really kind of look at web design. So for me, it's like take what their tools are without knowing coding and all that. And just kind of like what we're talking about is putting things into place where I can see it visually happening. And so that's kind of what the purpose was for Wix. And then I was thinking, okay, maybe we can convert this into WordPress, but according to Stanley, you need to just kind of put this onto your server, and that's all you can do. It's not really you can add anything outside of Wix. So that's kind of the challenge that we've got to this point. So what we're determining is to get a template or customize it, and those are the kind of the two choices now. And so
So
we're determining that as we speak.
So I'm sorry. Let me. So to clarify, just so I understand, what you're trying to do is to take this site that I have up here, which is a Wix site, and basically convert it into a WordPress site, making it look as close to this as we can. Correct?
Correct.
So can we do that, Jonathan? He looks like he has an answer.
Yeah, okay. So Stanley is right that there's really not much you can do in direct transition from Wix to WordPress. It's not like you can save the page because WordPress has its very own, foundation, and it's got its own way of placing things. It's not something that's just like a drag and drop. So what you would need to do is more or less do it from scratch where you visually see what you have on your website and you just have to recreate that as best as you could in WordPress.
Now, let me ask a question. So Jonathan knows and has used WordPress quite a bit. Looking at this site, and basically this is it. If I were to tell you, or you were to develop a site and try and make it look exactly like this in WordPress, how long would it take you to do you think? Assuming that you could grab all these icons.
Oh, assuming if you can take the graphics right off of there, then it shouldn't take very long at all.
So in other words, if you're by graphics we mean the images of the
Right,
plane.
like the plane there and the whole click here, so the drop shadow and the logo up top. If you can grab all those, like if you have source images for all those, then it shouldn't be very hard at all.
So Tony, my question is, this obviously we know Kayla actually did the artwork for the Travel Scrooge guy.
Really?
Yeah, she did a great job.
That's cool.
But the other thing I'm wondering is, Tony, these other images that you used here, the image down here of the flights, of the airplane, the hotel, the car rental, were those on Wix or did you grab them from somewhere else?
Both.
Both. Okay. But I don't think, looking at the number of images here,
hmm
even if we had to go to some clip art place, free or paid, this isn't a lot of work, is it?
Yeah, or even just take a direct screenshot and copy the image. It wouldn't be that bad. But if he does have access to the source images, like with the clear backgrounds and all of that, that would be that'd be ideal. But even if he didn't, it's still very possible.
So it'd be pretty easy to create the site. And what we want to do, our concept here was to have, the major categories of travel: airfare, hotels, car rental, cruises, vacation packages. Those were the major categories, and each one of those will then have a page when we
Right.
click on it. Any other thoughts on that?
Um, I'm actually interested in why do you want to change from Wix to WordPress? Like, is there a specific reason that you want to make that transition?
Yeah, I'm not really keen on this as the design final. So for me, I was thinking of maybe doing it a little bit more modern. I'm sorry, it's like my little bit of my pickiness, I guess, and maybe I should stop with that. But I was thinking of something for future systems where I don't have to go to the board and there it is, and I have to kind of create this. This is very time consuming.
Okay.
So for me, yeah, for me, it's like getting a template, which is quite easy, I guess. And I picked a template or two out with Stanley, and he hasn't got back to me yet. So it's kind of like I just want to see. I guess I'm hung up on the details a little bit too much.
You know
So I
what?
guess that's kind of my
I don't.
problem. But
I,
yeah,
I
go ahead.
I don't actually. I think that it's good to get off the Wix platform for a number of reasons. Number one, if all of a sudden Wix decided to shut you down for whatever reason, you couldn't do anything. It's their platform. And that's the biggest reason for wanting to get off of there. I don't
Right.
want to ever be in a position where, let's just say we were doing, $20,000 a month in business, and all of a sudden Wix said, you know what, we don't like you guys, goodbye. Now all of a sudden we've lost the site, all the links and everything else.
Right, but with WordPress, it's not an issue because you have everything's like you're on your own server with
Yeah.
WordPress.
So Tony, I think that the move from Wix to WordPress should be done early and done now if we're going to
Yeah,
do it, and I think we should
yeah,
do it.
yep. And then the next step with me is to get Stanley to work with me on it, and it should be done pretty soon.
I would think so, yeah. And now, what about some of the other? What were some of the other things that we were going to do? You were going to come up with some, because just to educate Jonathan on this, what we're going to
Sure.
do with Tony is to take these various categories, airfare, hotels, car rentals, and he's going to create the different the substructure underneath there,
right.
which each one of those will have their own information product. Probably, and Tony, I think we talked about this. Probably the best way to do it is to design whatever the class is that we're going to teach for that particular topic, hold a webinar, have people show up so we have some questions from the audiences, record it in ScreenFlow, and then sell it as a saleable product, right? That was our idea, right?
Gotcha. And I'm just in the midst of being really very kind of succinct with my outline. So for me, it's like, what is the value of what my experience has been over the years with teaching people? What I consider to be, I guess, content that is, like you had mentioned in a lot of your books, is to over deliver and undervalue it, and then you get people more and more interested. So for me, I've used that over the years to a lot of success.
Yeah, and so now when you did, and just to educate Jonathan again, what Tony has been doing, he's up in Canada, by the way, he's been doing classes like continuing education classes
Okay.
to the general public on travel, more so, Tony, travel in general. You haven't done anything specific in these various categories, have you?
Yeah, well, I'll just give you a little bit of a background. I taught three courses. One is called How to Travel Above Your Means Without Paying for It. And so that was more high-end on the cheap travel strategies, where I teach a lot of people in classes, and predominantly they're baby boomers. So I've seen a lot of baby boomers who come to my classes and are really kind of newbies, to say the least. They're even afraid to go to the computer, knowing that if they go there, they're going to be eaten up. So I guess they want somebody like me to kind of take all the guesswork and confusion out of it.
Okay,
And
so
so two other courses I taught from a spin-off on that is How to Travel Europe Without Your Backpack. So, kind of like that. And so another one also I taught was How to Travel on Someone Else's Dime. So travel for free and get paid to travel strategies. So these were my more popular ones. So
you know
people wanted
what,
to apply it to
Tony?
Europe,
I,
because a lot of people from Canada go to Europe a lot here, especially, and also for the free and get paid kind of methods. Everyone kind of loves it.
You know
So
what? I have an idea, buddy. Why don't we
yeah.
do this? I know that what
Mhm.
I said originally was let's create products for each one of these categories: airfares, hotel, car rental, cruises. If I said to you, I'll bet you could, if I said tomorrow we're going to do 3 webinars in a row, an hour and a half each, and they're going to be on these topics, you could literally do that tomorrow, couldn't you?
Probably.
Yeah. Why don't we start with those to create products? Why don't we just do one on each of these topics. You already have the PowerPoint slides and everything, right?
Yeah, I actually converted them to Keynote.
Okay. So in other words, but you've got slides for each one of these particular topics, right?
Perfect. Yes.
How long did the classes run when you did them?
Well, the How to Travel Above Your Means Without Paying For was a full day seminar, so 5 hours of teaching.
Okay, you know what? I say that what we do is you deliver that seminar, and here's what the cool thing about information products is, as far as I'm concerned, is you can get paid to create a product that you will later sell. In other words, what we're going to do is we're going to do a one-day travel, but we're going to probably now when you did it live in Canada, you broke that up. You did it morning and then an afternoon session, right?
Yeah, I do it usually on a Saturdays. I don't really have a lot of time to go back to the same center 2 weeks in a row.
Yep. But you would break it up in terms of they'd have a lunch break, right?
Correct. Yeah, I start at 9:30 in the morning and about 3:30 in the afternoon.
Let's do the same thing except do it in webinar form. We'll do it on a Saturday. You'll deliver that information. I will be your primary student asking the dumb questions that I'm so good at, but we will also then give people some incredibly ridiculous deal saying, hey, look, we're going to be recording this product and making it available for sale. I'm just going to, and we're going to put a lead pages page up to promote this. And what we'll do is we'll charge, what did you charge at Continuing Ed for this class?
The full day class, $99.
Okay. So what we're going to do is we're going to say, this is normally a $99 class, but since you guys are our guinea pigs and helping us, we're going to let you come and sit in on this event for, I don't know, 29, 39, 49 or something.
Beautiful.
Then we'll promote it to your list, to my list. We will make money. Oh, and by the way, one of the things I forgot, even though I know and I love you and I'm 100% confident in your integrity, I'm going to just knock you out a little agreement that I'm going to send to you too, right? Okay?
Yeah, that'd be great.
Just so we have. And it also says in the event that if I kick the bucket, 10% of the revenue continues to go to your wife, or continues. If I kick the bucket, you get 90%. You got to pay Sabrina 10% forever, and if vice versa happens, then 10% the other way. Just sort of standard stuff.
Well, I'll increase that because I love your family. So it's all good.
Okay. He's hung out with the kids and stuff. So, oh, by the way, Kyle just had his first audition yesterday, and I'll have to send you some of the pictures. It was really interesting.
Oh, I want to hear all about it.
It was fun. Okay, so here's the deal. So why don't we do this? We promote this as a webinar, one day. We'll do it on a Saturday. We'll do it from 9:30 to 3:30, just like you would live. We'll take a break for lunch, and we'll invite people to come for a reduced fee. Instead of $99, we'll do it at $29 or $49 or whatever the number we do. We'll promote it to both of our lists. I'll let Avish know. I'll let the other JV partners know. They can come for free, and then they'll promote it to their lists. And if we get 10 people, who cares?
Exactly.
Now, in the meantime, by the way, I've been getting really annoyed. I always used to tell people, and Tony, this is important for us. I always used to tell people that when you have Web Marketing Magic, which is the backbone to all of our systems in terms of the e-commerce side, I always used to make a point of saying, everybody must have a credit card processor. You shouldn't be dependent on PayPal or someone like that. You know what? I'm done with that. I really don't think it's necessary anymore for us to have our own credit card processor. In fact, they're charging me fees, and I'm thinking that the next thing I'm going to do with Stanley is just say, you know what? I want to transition this over, because when you go and you have it hooked up to PayPal, people can pay with their credit card now. And I've had so many hassles with people, chargebacks, all kinds of nonsense that I want to transition. So, Tony, I don't know, have you started the whole thing with Web Marketing Magic yet or not?
Well, I have, and then I pretty much haven't done a lot with it, as you know. So I pretty much went to them and called them, and they actually said, don't worry about it. You've paid for like 4 months.
Okay.
When you're ready to use it, we'll actually give you your next 4 months for free because you didn't use it.
Excellent. Okay. But the thing about it is that included or part of their service is they say, click here if you want to set up a merchant account. I'm going to confirm this with Stanley, but I'm going to make sure that we don't need to have a merchant processor. It can just hook up to PayPal, because when you hook up to PayPal, people can pay if they have a PayPal card, but they can also pay if they don't with a credit card. So I'm just seeing really no need for us to continue to use those kinds of services. Make sense?
Yeah, and then simple, and then the cost of it is probably better.
Absolutely. All of those things. Okay, so now let me ask about this one. So this was one day. What about the how to travel Europe without a backpack? And what we mean by that is how to travel Europe a little bit better than a student, right?
Yeah, so it was just kind of like the title of it came to me a little bit in that applying for what I teach people in the first course is more now geographically specific. So people from North America really just don't understand what's there for them in Europe. So I get right into it. I have a vacation home in Europe. So for me, it's like, and I speak a few languages that are European. So for me, it's like, it's just a natural thing.
Oh, what was the cost of that event?
Yeah, this was a half a day. So for me, I just charged $59.
Yep. Okay, so again, we can do the same thing here and then cut it. So standard fee was 59. So we can make this, 19 or 29 or whatever we decide to do.
And I'm noticing, Fred, even with that course, I tested these courses in different areas within my I guess my city here, and a lot of the kind of the more affluent folks were attracted to the European course.
Cool. Okay. Let's go to the next one. Travel for free and get paid to travel. How much did you charge for that?
Yeah, it's actually kind of the same deal.
As the second one?
Yeah, I just charged half day kind of, continuing education is just kind of like that. You can't attract, or you can't raise the price on them, getting them in the door.
Yes, but it was a half day format?
Yes.
So I would suggest that if we do the 1 day format, we basically, and I'm sure this is probably how you did it, you broke it up into 4 sections, right? You had morning session, break, a later morning session, and then lunch, then an early afternoon session, break, and then a late afternoon session?
That's correct.
Okay, so let's do the same thing then with the half day. You probably you broke it up into 2 pieces, right? That had a break in the middle?
Right. So what I did was with my outline, I kind of get into a dialogue with people in the seminar, and then I got into my information, and then afternoon I got into the hotels, car rentals. So the first part was how to go about this process of getting these travel deals online and making it into something that a consumer can really understand how to do very quickly, step by step. And that's exactly what you said, that make people understand how to do this easier. And that's your value to them. And that's exactly what I've done for all courses.
Okay, then so for me, then our other products would be airfare, hotel, 6 would be rental cars, and then 7 is vacations. So we have the beginnings of 7 separate products here. But the nice thing about doing these is you can do these in your sleep, number one. Number two is we can have a combination of paid people who pay to come to the class, but I'll also invite people like Jonathan to sit in on it and other JV partners and other friends so that we have people on there that will definitely ask questions and query you about, so it'll be like you're doing a live class at the continuing ed place. What do you think?
Well, that sounds great. Unfortunately, I have to kind of make it more North American-ish. This is very Canadian kind of target, especially within my area if you lived here.
You know what? Yes. Let's do this because and this is important because Jonathan doesn't know this, and just let's repeat it. What we're targeting with Tony is specifically Canadians.
Okay.
This whole site, we're starting, and Tony, we agreed to that, right? We're going to start with the Canadian market, right?
That is correct.
So let's all of us, get our A's going so that we can act like we're from Canada. But more importantly than that, Tony, I think is you should invite just some buddies or whatever, anybody that you know who you want to sort of comp to come to this. We'll just let them come because they're going to ask the Canadian questions.
Yeah, okay, so what I'll do is I'll look at it and to my list and people who've actually communicated with me over the years and kept doing it, I'll definitely write an email to them.
Yeah, and you know what, Tony? I think that then the title of this has got to change a little bit. So how to travel above your means, everything as a Canuck.
Sure.
I mean, I think we should go ahead and make it Canada specific in the title because that's who we're targeting. Because again, I want people to know this is specifically for you, oh Canada.
Mm-hmm. It's
Yeah.
you know, when you target your market, when you call it your market, be very effective means to you know, getting a market.
Yeah, I think that they'd be more apt to, you know, again, since we're going to go after that now, later on we can target, you know, and just say the American market or just do a generic program.
Yeah, that'd be great. And also some trainings like Avish actually identified training for admin assistants or virtual assistants to train them on how to do this.
Yeah, I think that all that would be great, and then we can do those. But we now have something we can do and create product for like right away.
Yeah, and that's exactly what I would love to get going.
Okay, cool. So then let's do two things. Number one is let's have Stanley look at this website and try and I think that he can. We could, you know, again, email me and copy me, email him and copy me on it, and I'll just say, hey, Stanley. I give him a lot of stuff to do. So if he doesn't get back to you right away, it's not his fault. It's because I'm probably deluging him with a whole bunch of work. But what I'm going to have him do is take the Wix site, which we see here, convert it as much as possible to a WordPress site, as much of the look and feel as we can. But he will ask you for, Tony, which of these images do you have the actual images for? So why don't you put an email together with him where you ship him all those images?
Sounds good. I'll get a little bit more specific with that with him, and then I'll just kind of put in my list, and we'll take it from there.
Sounds good. Yeah. So I think that so now what we're going to concentrate on then until next week is number one. Do you have all the slides of these ready to go in Keynote?
Two out of the three. I don't have the European one. It's in an old PowerPoint.
Okay. So well, what we can do though is why don't you start picking some days and dates that work for. Let's first off think of the Saturday one and when we should do that, and we'll go back and forth in email and see what Saturday you can do that.
Sounds great.
And then with this one, we can do the same thing as well. We want to just start to get these booked so we can start promoting them, put up a lead pages site to promote the whole thing, etc.
Sounds great.
Okay, cool. So then by next week, we'll be talking with Stanley, and you'll be getting all this stuff together. We'll pick some dates, and then what we'll do is have to design the lead pages site that will promote these.
Beautiful.
And here's what you can do. If you can put together for me for each of these, and here's what we're doing with Bill. I asked Stanley to research lead pages and come up with which one he thought which one would be best to do the following. I told him, I said, I want a headline, and underneath the headline, I wanted a video, and then I wanted, you know, maybe a paragraph, then bullet points, and then, you know, sign up here, which is the Web Marketing Magic link. So sign up at WMM, Web Marketing Magic. So what I want you to do is, and this will be your goal too by next week, and this isn't hard, is to have all three of these. I want you to record a 60 to 90 second video that will go on the top explaining what this event it will be and why people should show up at it.
Okay.
And you know the testimonial that you gave me that's on the Fred Personal Bootcamp site?
Yeah.
The only thing that I want you to do a little bit different with this is that when you did this one, try and make this one a little bit, I'm just going to show you because I think you're a little bit far away from the camera here.
Yeah.
So I want to make you more like of a Bill DeWeese kind of image, like tight in on you.
Well, can I just give you feedback on that? I'm actually creating a studio down in my basement, and with better kind of lighting. I've got like kind of like a studio lighting, paid a couple $100, and I'm just going to make it into my special video room. Because what my probably challenge is every time I start this process, I don't get the right lighting. It's this, that, and the other. So if I go to a constant place, I think that would be really good for this whole process. I think
the main, but really, Tony, you know, between you and I, the main money should be spent on the plastic surgeon, right?
Yeah, exactly. Or hair restoration service.
No. We need not do that. I know that. Hey, but so that's great on the studio. I love it. And so, yeah, we can make everything look as good as possible. But again, that's cool. Now, when will that be done, by the way?
Saturday.
Oh, cool. Okay. So after Saturday, then, why don't you spend some time recording some little 60 to 90-second blurbs that relate to each one of these topics? How about?
No, that'd be great. I just got to get this all straightened out and ready to go.
Okay, super. So then keep me posted, and we will talk again before next week. But if not, we'll talk to you soon.